What's up guys, Sonofaboomer here. Today we are talking about why the Ruger 1022 is the best 22 rifle out there. Let's get to it.
I don't think he made it.
The 1022 is certainly the most popular 22 rifle on the market currently. Since its inception in 1964, this gun has not ceased production in over 60 years. Quite a feat in the gun world. Let's take a look at some of the features that have made them so popular. Now, a quick caveat about these rifles that I have in front of me. This one right here has tens of thousands of rounds and is over 30 years old. And this one right here has probably 1,000 rounds through it and is about a year or two old. Needless to say, I have shot a lot through these rifles and I feel very confident in what I'm telling you today. So back to it. The Ruger 1022's operation is pretty simple, but it might be a little bit different than something you're used to. So you've got these 10-shot magazines that typically come with the gun, and you're simply gonna take, there's a little nub right here, face that towards the back or the stock of the gun, and it simply goes in. When you pull back the charging handle, if there was a round in here, it would go forward. To release the mag underneath, you'll notice on this particular one, it's got sort of like a button. And I'm just gonna stick my finger up there, grab the back of the mag, reach up at the top, pulls out just fine. On newer models, this button-like mechanism is often extended so that you can actually get your thumb behind it a lot easier, which is a nice feature. Now, if you have a close-up look, you'll notice that a standard 1022 has a push-button safety right in front of the trigger, and there's this little lever sort of button thing right here. That is to lock the slide back. So if you pull the slide back and then push that down, in order to release the bolt, you'll just pull back on the charging handle, press this bolt, release again, and it'll go forward. On newer models, sometimes you don't even have to do that. You can just pull the charging handle back a little bit and that will automatically release the bolt. None of these features are difficult to actuate or difficult to learn at all, but they might be different. And so that's one thing I wanted to go over. Now the sights on this gun are very good. It's got a flip up and down rear sight that works very well. And on there, it's got this little diamond. That diamond combined with this brass bead up front makes it very easy to acquire targets and shoot accurately. The guns themselves also shoot very accurately with their standard barrel. You might find more accurate 22 rifles out there, but these are sufficient for most uses, and I would never at all call these inaccurate by any means. One thing that I love about these guns is that they are semi-auto, and combined with that, they take magazines. Magazines, I think, are really great for semi-autos because if you have an issue, you can always strip the magazine out and clear the jam or whatever. And with 22, that can happen a lot more frequently than on other guns. Now, these 22 rifles in their stock form, I think, are very reliable, especially when it comes to 22s. I can put hundreds and hundreds of rounds through this before I'll start having hiccups. Anytime I do have hiccups, it's almost always going to be ammo related, or I have not cleaned the gun in a long time. So make sure you're maintaining your guns, make sure that you're using quality ammunition, and you won't have an issue with reliability. Now, as I've said, the gun is accurate, the gun is reliable, the gun just brings a smile to my face every time I take it out shooting. And I think a lot of 22 rifles probably fit in that category. But one thing I think that sets the 1022 above other 22 rifles is the aftermarket support and the ability to change the gun how you want it. 1022s are extremely customizable. They have tons and tons of aftermarket support, and if something were to break and you want to keep it in your stock form, you can always swap out a part. But like I said, this one has had tens of thousands of rounds through it. I haven't had to replace anything. The only thing that has been added was this rail and the scope, and I did that. But there are tons of accessories that you can do to these guns to make them do more and more stuff. If you choose to leave your 1022 in stock form, it's gonna run and run and run. It's gonna work great. Like I said, tens of thousands of rounds. If you start adding and subtracting things from the 1022, you might run into some reliability issues, but at the same time, as I said before, 22 isn't the most reliable, Anyway, so maybe you're not necessarily going for reliability, you're going for a fun range toy, and you can do that with a 10-22. You can't do that with all 22 rifles. One very easy upgrade that you can do is swap out a 10-round magazine for a larger one, and they've got those for the 10-22. You can change out the charging handle if you'd like I've done on this one. This one is a more extended and easy to actuate charging handle. You'll notice on this one I also have a different trigger and safety. That's because this is a binary trigger setup. This is something that I've added to the gun, and it allows the gun to have a safe mode, a semi-auto mode, and a binary mode. And that binary mode basically means when I pull the trigger once, it shoots. When I release the trigger once, it shoots. Allows for a quick succession of fire. This edition is completely legal. It is not considered a machine gun because every time I am actuating the trigger. I pull it, I actuate it. When I release it, I actuate it. Another thing I really like about these 10-22s that I didn't mention earlier is their price. And these are not the cheapest 22s on the market, but they are very economical. Usually around $250 is where they start, and they can go all the way up to $500-ish, depending on what features you want. One personal reason I love the 10-22 so much is because it was my first gun that I owned. This was passed down to me from a family member, and I have loved shooting it so much. I take it out all the time. It's often the first gun that I have newcomers shoot because it's light recoiling, it's reliable, it's durable. I'm not really worried about it breaking or anything on them, and it's just easy to shoot. These guns are so versatile, from hunting to sports shooting to competition. There are accessories. People do use these occasionally for competition. It's not my first choice for home defense, but the size of these guns is not unmanageable in close quarters. The main reason I just don't recommend it for home defense would be, of course, the caliber effectiveness and the caliber reliability. I would want something a little bit more effective and a little bit more reliable. However, if that's all you have, you could use it. Occasionally I'll hear people say that the 10-22 sucks, and here's what I'm gonna say. I think there are other guns out there that do certain things better than the 10-22. But I think as a whole, the 10-22 does everything well. And I think that's what makes it really the best, is it's the do-all 22 rifle. Everyone, I think, should own one. I just think they're fantastic guns. You're never gonna have a bad time when shooting a 10-22. So that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? I know the Marlin 60 gang is probably gonna get mad at this video. They're gonna come after me. But if you've got another 22 rifle you think is better, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to check them out. And if you like this kind of content, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're liking and commenting. I really appreciate you guys so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching this video.